our friend, but I need to give the full deal. Former UFC heavyweight and light heavyweight champ, two-time U.S. Olympian, and one half of the DC and RC podcast.
Yeah.
Daniel Cormier, it's so good to have you here.
I'm so excited. I've been waiting. I wanted to come next to Doggy. I know Stephen there. I was ready. I'm ready. I'm ready for the show.
Okay, let's go.
We are honored to have the champion in the house, my
Thank
brother.
you.
Who does a great job calling fights with Joe Rogan and John Anik, by the way. Great job.
Oh, you got to say hi to John Anik for me. That's
he is the man.
He is the man.
Forever.
No question.
Okay, please send him my love. All right, you love football too, so that's where we're going to start first. Okay, the 2020 quarterback draft class has shown to have a few young stars in today's game. The #1 overall pick, Joe Burrow, led the Bengals to the Super Bowl in his second season. The 5th pick, Tua Tagovailoa, currently leads the league in QBR. Justin Herbert, who was drafted right after Tua, won Offensive Rookie of the Year in 2020. And then, of course, Jalen Hurts, who was drafted in the second round, has led the Eagles to their first 8-0 start in franchise history. Out of those 4 quarterbacks, you want to take it first?
I talked to Burrow this morning. I told him, I said, I'm going to sit with the guys this morning, and I'm going to redraft the class. I said, it's a no-brainer. He goes, absolutely, my brother, it's a no-brainer. You take Joe Burrow. Because here's why. Joe Burrow has done what these guys aspire to do. He's already played in the Super Bowl. He did that coming off of an injury, right? So Joe Burrow has won at every level. He won at LSU. He got to the NFL, got hurt, sat out the rest of his rookie season, comes back in his year one. This was year 1 for Joe Burrow last year. Year 1, he leads them to the Super Bowl in a competitive game against the Rams. Ultimately, they lost, but he has been there. Now, can he be protected in Cincinnati too? I was talking to someone in the green room. He goes, I could block better than the line of the Cincinnati Bengals right now.
Yeah.
So if he stays healthy, I don't understand why anyone would expect anything to be different. Sure, Jalen Hurts 8-0. I understand that. Last year in the playoffs didn't play so well. We saw Joe Burrow man up in the biggest situation, so I'm still taking the guy that's proven.
100%. Him and I are good job.
There we go.
Because he's won 3 playoff games. He won a SEC championship at Alabama. He won the NCAA title. I mean, he's played pretty well this year. They're going to be in the playoffs again. I think it's a no-brainer. Herbert, who I love, he obviously hasn't won a playoff game. Hurts, the one playoff game he played in was awful. Got to be fair.
Bad.
No, he's got a chance to recover. Give him a chance. But this is a guy who's already done it. And Tua, I mean, he's had a nice little run, but let's take it easy. Let's put the brakes on Tua. It's not even a debate. Why are we even discussing this one? It's got to be Joe Burrow.
Well, first of all, you're right. You're right. All of us on the same page as it pertains to Burrow, but I'm going to switch it up for you. I'm going to change the narrative just a touch. If you talk about the draft class, it's Burrow all day, every day. Okay, we get all of that because the brother has done it. But if we talk about this season, and I got this season to go off of, I'm going to tell you Jalen Hurts. And here's why I'm going to tell you Jalen Hurts. You see, one of the things that we have to pay attention to with Joe Burrow, there's an absence of protection.
Yes.
Offensive line, they got to do a better job of protecting him. All right? That also means he got to do a better job of being a bit mobile. That ain't always necessarily the case with him. It ain't that he can't run, but he's not that adroit at doing so because he's such an elite passer of the football. Well, Jalen Hurts has elevated his level of play, worked on his game in the offseason, obviously worked with a quarterback coach. It is clear that it has improved exponentially. We're looking at him now. What is he? Complete 68% of his passes. He's got 12 touchdowns, just 2 interceptions. You got a running game. You got a team that can run block, that can pass protect. You got receivers like A.J. Brown. I get all of that. Devontae Smith, we understand what they bring to the table. But in the end, what is it that you're doing? And what we see him doing is minimizing the mistakes. That's not always Joe Burrow. He can run with the football. That's definitely not Joe Burrow. And you take that into consideration and consider the way that he's elevating and the ability that he has to protect himself because he's gotten bigger and stronger and he's a bit mobile. Those are things to think about. I would never say that Jalen Hurts could throw the football like that damn Joe Burrow could throw the football. Ain't no doubt about that. That's when Justin Herbert comes into the equation and all of a sudden things get interesting. But I'm talking about based on what we're seeing this season, I'm not so sure if come this time next year, we ain't going to be able to have a legitimate conversation about one or the other. That's what I'm saying.
I think by next year it'll still be pretty clear that it's Joe Burrow. But to your point with Jalen Hurts, I was speaking to Sean Brady. He's got a fight in the UFC right now. He shares a strength and conditioning coach with Jalen Hurts. The way that he speaks of Jalen Hurts and Lane Johnson, like they are not from this planet in terms of athleticism. And that shows on the football field when you watch Jalen Hurts, and it shows in the leadership that he's developing. Because at times, you could watch the Eagles, and Jalen Hurts didn't seem sure in that position. There were times where I would watch people talk about whether or not he was the guy. That's not getting questioned anymore.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.